Okay, let me get rid of that.
So I'm going to start recording the call, by the way, just so that we can, and I'm going to do is get some settings on here and make sure that we have some, there's no audio when people come in. There we go. And then people can just come on in. And,
so do we usually show our smiling faces, or do you go with picture, or what do you usually do here?
We don't even show our face, actually. We just kind of do it this way, and then we kind of get into work. But
right.
if we want
to... Just want to follow the protocol.
If we want to get into showing our faces, let's just do that. Let me just see here. Settings, video. I'm going to turn my... There it is. Can you see me?
There you go. Yep.
Hey there.
Can you see me?
No, I cannot.
Oh, here, hold on. There we go. Oh, I have to tidy myself up here. There we go.
I don't even know where to look. This is the first time I've actually used the screen share on the Join Me. So
well, this is interesting because I'm used to Zoom, and usually there's square boxes. There's little round boxes over to the right hand side there. So
yeah, but I don't see your picture anywhere. So we have someone else coming. So whoever that is. So yeah, but there.
Well, I can see you and I can see me.
But I can't
see you.
It's so weird, actually. So
on your right-hand side of the screen, you don't have little circles with pictures, including yourself?
Nope. Not even a little bit. I guess it doesn't matter about me.
Yeah, you don't count.
And I can't see you, unfortunately, but that's okay. This is a good thing. So who else is on? So what happens is that in the new year we're going to be switching over to Zoom. We're just kind of working this out right now. Now there's three ways that I really recommend that you grow your business using social media, especially for services companies such as yourself and such as myself. The first one is definitely going to be LinkedIn. So let's just take a look here, Robert, at your LinkedIn.
Yeah, I've done a fair amount of work on that based on teachings that I've had from other sources. So perfect. Always interested in feedback. And
you're right here. And we have 131 shared contacts. Hey, guess what? I got paid in $400 worth of Bitcoin today.
Cool.
Isn't that great?
Nice. Good for you. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Is that Jason?
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, you're like, oh man, awesome. Yeah, I got 400. So my total investment in Bitcoin ever since I've started was $125. And so far, all my Bitcoins with all the earnings is well over $1,000, which is nothing compared to what you got, Bob. I know it. But hey, we got to get started somewhere. I'm a real skeptic when it comes to this stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Well, I had an interesting thing today. I've got numerous little wallets, and unfortunately with wallets, usually what happens is when you move your funds, or you're trying to move all of your funds out of a wallet, you usually end up with a little bit of a residual behind you, right? So in this case, I had a wallet that I set up, was the very first one that I had, and I've gotten back out of that. I haven't used it, but I left in 0.04 of a Bitcoin, which at the time was about $50. And I just went and looked at it today, and it's $890.
Yes, sir.
Just for nothing, right? So it's like money from nowhere.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, you see, when I started, when I agreed to be paid in Bitcoin, that was when it was at $9,000.
Yep.
So technically, they would owe me double the amount, but I didn't scoff or argue with it. I just kind of went on with it. So you have 500 plus. You have 1,936 followers, which is really fantastic. That's a really beautiful number to start with. And I've got about 1,000 less than you, but I don't use Bitcoin. I don't use LinkedIn as much as I could be using LinkedIn. But as I get to these, as we do these events, I really actually use it a lot more. One of the things I'm going to really recommend is that for this right here, where it says founder and president, what you do is go over here to under work, and then go under here under create a company page and create your company page. And then add your logo on there, and then it'll show your logo. Do that for both of these. If Alair Homes is giving you permission, then just put up the logos, because it actually does it really does add an elegance to the entire process, and I'll show you what I mean. So this here is mine. And you can see right here, I have the Canadian marketing team, and then I have, and these are just, I just put anything. I just wanted something up there, right?
That
You know,
makes
and
sense.
the ones that I'm not in control of, they're not really as important. I'm not like Leader Global Consulting Worldwide. They're, you know, I'm not the principal with them, so I don't want to go open up a business page. Although I'm sure that Carl wouldn't have an issue. So that'll really help you out as well. And who else is on here? We have Jason that's on here, and there's a viewer number 2. Who's that? Who else is on here?
It might be me. Diane.
Oh, Diane, welcome.
Hello.
You called in today.
Yes, I did. Well, no, I'm on the web.
Are you? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, I'm happy to have you. So all the diehards, the serious ones. And it's funny because we have like so many more people. We got so many more people that are part of our group now, just over the last few weeks. So there's something I want to show Corey today, which is how to do some free online Facebook advertising. I wanted to talk about a little bit more about LinkedIn. I wanted to talk about Alignable also. And I just want to, first of all, maybe do a roundtable and see where each of you are at. And let's start with you, Diane, because I think that, Diane, you hit your goal of over 500 when we first started, didn't you?
Oh, I have more exciting news.
Okay. Did you make money? Because that's more exciting.
Actually, I have.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes, I have a mind mapping contract with somebody from Ontario. So yes, I have made money.
Out of LinkedIn?
Well, no, she was a photo reading student, and she wants me to help her with some mind mapping. So she's a former client and now is a current client. So
beautiful work, Diane. Beautiful work. So let's take a look at what you've done. So let's take a look here and look at where you're at. So
before last week, I believe I was sitting, last Monday, I think I was sitting at 467 or something.
Yes.
I am now sitting at 619.
What in the world happened?
I don't know. But it's working, whatever.
Wow, great work, Diane. And this is all your target market, right?
Yep.
Okay. So because Robert's new here with us, this is his first time on the Social Media Mondays, I'd like for you to kind of give a synopsis of what it is that you've been learning over the last number of weeks, and specifically how we've been target marketing, because Robert actually makes helps franchises get more leads. And then what he does is helps them convert those leads into actual franchises, right? So companies that purchase the company. So could you maybe help a little bit, and then Jason will get to you just right after, and how you can help them, maybe some tips and tricks that you've learned over the last, I think it's been a couple of months now already that we've been doing this, and how it's been helping you and giving you ideas that you may not have had before. So go.
When I first started with Odin, I only had 357 connections on LinkedIn. So I worked with Odin to figure out who my target market was, and I should give you some context. I am a photo reading and mind mapping instructor, so I help people essentially read much more faster, more effectively with greater comprehension. So I help people read at 25,000 words a minute. So in terms of target marketing, I'm looking for professionals who have a lot of reading to do, don't have a lot of time to read in, and all of my processes are designed to help you increase your speed, improve your retention. And what I've been doing on LinkedIn is I've been targeting people who are CFOs, CEOs, chiropractors, physiotherapists, anyone who essentially has to engage in professional development throughout their careers. And they always leave the professional development piece until the last end, or at least not all of them, but a lot of them do. So I've been targeting people in those areas. And just in the last week, I started targeting people who are politicians, lawyers, notaries, all of those kinds of people as well. So I've been targeting those people. So I was sending out individual messages to people and then inviting them to connect. And what I just started doing is just hitting the connect button. And that seems to be getting me quite a lot of people connecting with me, because they're looking at, even though my profile isn't stellar yet, it's still a work in progress. It is getting me, they're seeing who I am and what I do, and they've been connecting with me. So I've had several conversations with people who have connected with me. That may lead me to the other side of my life is I actually develop online courses for a living. So I may be looking at getting some product development clients through my LinkedIn account as well for people who want to leverage their expertise by moving it online. So that's the other thing I've been having. I've probably had about a dozen conversations with people who've actually reconnected back to me, and we started a conversation about those kinds of things. So some of it's resulting in at least more interest. Still working on the conversion piece, so I need to start posting more on LinkedIn. That's sort of, I'm now thinking this is my next phase now that I have more connections, and that's going to be my next element is start posting on LinkedIn. I'm going to start a book a week program, so I'm going to post tips on what I'm reading every single day, and that will get more people interested in what I have to do. So that's my next phase, starting probably next week.
So do you have a website, Diane?
That is the one thing I need to build out. So that is my next thing as well this week.
We are actually building that out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're building out the we're building the outline first, and then that outline can go to the designer. So we're putting in all the marketing elements. And what we've also been doing, what Diane's also been doing, is she's getting a 17-minute TED Talks on how to engage both sides of the brains and double your reading speed, which is a presentation that she's got. And so we've been doing lots of work. Now, Jason, you actually are welcome. You've been, I'd like for you to share with Robert what you've been doing over the last couple of months as well, but specifically the results you've been getting recently, because we were talking on Friday, and I can say Jason's newest testimonial for me is Odin makes me money. Jason Ross, that's his testimonial. And so what's really nice is that Jason and I have implemented a sales strategy for Jason, of course. So we just talked it through. And Jason's a hard worker, so like he knows what he likes, and I'm pushing him beyond his limits to do what it is that all business owners need to do, which is become their own best salesman. So Jason, do you want to kind of share what it is, where you've grown, and ideally where you're at now is where Diane wants to be, which is sending those messages out, getting the confirmations, doing the evaluators. Just kind of talk a little bit about what it is that you're doing, and give a little bit of synopsis to Robert.
Okay, so first of all, my business is in digital marketing, so web development, search engine optimization, and sales funnel development are the three main things. In addition to that, I also help people with cybersecurity for their websites. And so the campaign that Odin was talking about is I launched a campaign on both LinkedIn and Alignable, where I sent out 28 messages to my Alignable contacts and 551 out to my LinkedIn contacts. And as of right now, I've currently gotten all the results in so far.
Great.
Minus any few stragglers that might come in over the next few days. And basically, I got a total of 140 people on LinkedIn of the 550 I sent out who replied.
Wow.
Excellent.
25% conversion. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And of those, 78 of them resulted in a...
1 second. Can you let us know what message you sent out? That's going to be key for everyone listening.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just give me a moment. It's got to reload it.
Just use it as a template, guys. That's what it is.
I'm really good looking. Message me.
I'm really good looking. Message me, you said. All right.
So I'm just saying I'll bet it's something along that line, right, Jason? No?
Yeah. How did you know? I mean, sure it is. How did you know? That's great. So for real now, Jason.
Yeah. So it's hi, client contact's name. I'm doing a 1-question survey, and I was wondering if you could help me. Do you currently have a web developer who's helped you in the last 6 months with lead generation and conversion strategies?
And period. That's it. Nothing more. Yeah. 1-question survey got him a 25% conversion rate. Of the 25,
is there a lot of yeses and a lot of nos, or more
Well,
nos than yeses?
This is what he's going to be getting at right now, actually. He's
Okay.
he's made his money back working with me 100% from this one campaign. And now we're just,
Yeah.
now what we're doing is we're creating a sales system and a sales process for him. Pretty exciting stuff. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, so to answer your question, basically, with that questionnaire, essentially, if the person gave me an answer that was essentially a yes, then that means that there's a competition there for getting that person in as a client, 'cause they're already either do it in-house or somebody else is already servicing them. So the golden answer I was looking for that one was a no, meaning they're not currently being helped right now.
Which means that you can develop that relationship. So just hold that for a second there. I want to help Robert for a second. So hi, I was wondering if you can help me with a one-question survey. Have you ever purchased a franchise before?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Now, if the ones that say yes, you can learn a lot from. What was it? What did you purchase? The ones that say no, second question, follow-up question could be, are you interested in purchasing a successful franchise? Now, that's all depending if you've got your target market, right? So Jason's business is a little bit different than yours.
Yeah,
A one-question survey for Diane, for instance, it could be something like, have you ever taken, hi, I was wondering if you can help me. I have a one-question survey. Have you ever taken a speed reading course before? Yes or no?
Yep.
And that would be really good for her, as a matter of fact, because if everyone who says no, she can lead them right into a free preview, and she's got 500 people that come to a preview. I mean, like, it's a genius conversion idea. So please continue, Jason.
Yeah. So, and basically that's sort of what I did with mine is I actually tabulated up what all the different answers I got were into the broad categories. So the yeses I split them up to things like in-house plus external, competitor, complementary.
So you found out what your competitor was actually doing, Jason.
Yes.
Cool.
And same thing for the no's. I found out if it's because they're doing it themselves, they have no website, or also had a general catch-all for if the person didn't really specify, how they are or not, or are not being serviced. Sorry, that was a bit of a tongue twister. So, as well. So, and basically the results have pretty much been about 50-50 split between ones that are currently being helped with their web marketing and ones that are not.
And then share a few more of the steps that you've taken. For instance, we did some website evaluators. So as a free offer. So remember, it's about getting the survey question, and then it's about progressing that relationship step by step. So share a little bit more with everyone listening.
Okay, so basically for the people that, based on their answer, warranted further follow-up, there was actually two different things I would do depending on their answer. If their answer was fairly generic, that indicated that they may benefit from some digital marketing help, I then would had a template for a second message I'd send them as a follow-up, which starts with, do you know how effective your website is? And just to summarize it, I then proceed to offer them a free website assessment, which was the thing that Odin was just talking about, where we go through a checklist of certain key performance indicators for a website's homepage. And I went through one of those with Odin already, and have about another 7, I think, others currently lined up to go on that as well.
And you've already gotten sales out of this particular campaign, right?
Yeah, I have currently in the process of writing 3 proposals, 2 of them to one company and one to another company.
Perfect. So, and how much money did you really spend on this campaign?
I think once you translate it into Canadian dollars, it came to about I think $15 roughly. And that was just to hire just to hire a virtual assistant to.
When you hire Odin, it's all expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, $15 just to get a virtual assistant to send the survey out for me.
But Jason, we should preface that in the sense that that virtual assistant I gave you, I've trained for 3 years in a row, right? 4 years now. So this is a relationship I've already established, and I trusted this particular individual.
Yeah.
And so there's some other things that actually last week, Jason, you missed last week's presentation, where you can ask LinkedIn to send you your entire database of all your emails and everything, so you can put that in your emailer now. You can save that 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you watch
I
last
didn't
week's
know that.
presentation. Watch last week's presentation, and you'll see that you can download all this. It's pretty darn cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So now you can do both the VA and you can do it yourself if you wanted to do maybe SurveyMonkey or MailChimp. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, do they do Aweber as well?
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, you can upload it to Aweber. Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, Robert, is this giving you some good ideas?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking the franchise side is one side, and as you know, my Bitcoin thing, makes it interesting to consider. You know, I mean, as doing a survey about, you know, have you ever considered buying Bitcoin? I mean,
actually, I've already worked with other Bitcoin individuals in the marketplace that are looking to build their own cryptocurrency network. So.
Yeah.
One survey question is perfect for that. My whole question is, which do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on the Bitcoin, or do you want to focus on the franchises? And I personally think the one that makes you the most amount of money right now is focusing in on franchises. So if that means that you need to open up a second page, LinkedIn page, do yourself that favor. One of the problems that I've got with having over 1,000 people is I would indiscriminately basically become friends with everyone. So now what I got to do is I got to really hone in and pick my target market. And so if that means that I have to look for engineers, or if I have to look for electrical contractors.
Well, no question.
Right. And then I type in electrical contractors, and then here are all the options I have, thousands and thousands and thousands of electrical contractors. And now if I wanted to do not only that as home builders, because those are your two target markets. So these are all...
No, they aren't. They aren't.
Okay. Well, which one would be your target markets then, as an example?
Well, home builders are one for my Allaire side.
Yes.
The other side would be sales representatives that currently work on the road selling industrial and commercial consumable supplies.
Well, how would you search that?
I know. So you got to boil that down. Oh, well, what you can do by company. And we've done that to a degree, whereas you go to Fastenal. Fastenal is an organization that is a direct competitor in a specific market of target or section of what we market. And then there's safety supply companies, et cetera. And you can search in there to get the sales people that have that in their profile.
Awesome.
And
so
we've done that, and with some success. And I want to be able to repeat that, and I will work. That's kind of where I would go with that.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, Odin, my thinking is the target market for LGI and to a degree Allaire are pretty specific. I mean, LGI, it could be anybody that has sales experience and is comfortable selling, or somebody that's already in a I'm not sure, something on the road as far as selling is concerned in a related industry. The Bitcoin side is extremely general. The Bitcoin side is there's really no specific target market with that. It could be anybody that wants to put $500 into Bitcoin and see what happens. So, I'm thinking about, maybe if we're going to look at restructuring a page, it might be I could really get into tailoring the topics with regards to LGI and really honing in on that market segment for both in US and Canada, but primarily right now for Canada. But
yeah.
we start to need to start build the collateral, because I think in 2 or 3 years we're going to be into the U.S. with that.
Yeah, perfect. So that's what we have most of the people coming on board with, is picking their target market and really focusing and honing in on that. So what I was thinking is outside sales may be a perfect idea for you in regards to this, because it says current outside sales and lighting design, outside sales at Tile and Stone. So it tells you what it is that you have to do. And this is something you could easily have a virtual assistant do for $5 an hour. You give them access, you let them know what your criteria is, and then you have them just start going out there and start building. And that's what I would really, really recommend. But in the meantime, what I always recommend is you do it yourself first, right?
I mean, we have 2 franchisees now that come from this profile, and I mean, it's wow. we need to take their, one of them was from a safety supply company, and another one is from a air quality purification company in Saskatoon that at some point in his life actually worked for a material supply company. So if you can find that qualification and boil it down to where they make them searchable on LinkedIn, that's kind of where our quality leads are coming from as we market. More and more people that do respond are people from that genre. And so we need to reach out to more of that.
Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about Facebook. I was expecting way more people on today, but Diane, what are your goals this week for LinkedIn now that you have been hearing the successes that we've all been having? What do you think your goals are for this week? What would you like to work on?
Well, I've been connecting with people, but now that you've mentioned doing that survey, and given that I want to do the webinar anyways, I should start sending out that 1-question survey saying, ever taken a speed reading course, to the connections that I'm making, and then start a conversation with them. So I'm thinking that would be the next logical step, given all the connections I've been making.
Exactly. So
that would be powerful.
I agree. I was wondering if you could help me. I have a 1-question survey. Have you ever taken a speed reading course before that has helped you double your reading speed? Just like that. Simple, nothing more. Wait for them to say yes or no. Once they say yes, just say, great, I have a free event that's coming up. I'd love to be able to invite you. Here's the URL. Please sign up. And then that puts their name, email, and phone number on there for you too, right?
I have at least a dozen people I could refer to that.
Wonderful.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, it's and myself included. I don't know that I could focus enough and get enough out of it, but I'd be interested to learn about it for sure.
Oh, I guarantee you, I can teach you all kinds of things about how to get your focus when you're reading.
Just working together, she's doubled my speed of reading.
But you can find me a way that I don't fall asleep.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Good.
But yeah.
Perfect. So Jason, what's your goal for this week for LinkedIn?
I think right now my
your
primary goal is actually working through the results of the
yes,
the campaign I did, and making sure I get the deliver on my promise with the website survey is my number one focus right now.
Perfect. Can you add another 10 or 20 people to your LinkedIn profile though? Can you do that minimum?
I've been finding while I've been dealing with the aftermath of this survey, it's been a little bit challenging to be able to spend the time on there because it's been so booked up with taking care of
in our business
the projects and stuff is triggered. So
this is such a wonderful problem to have. This is how come and I'm at the same point you're at. It's called a profit faucet, because with your marketing, you should be able to turn it on when you need it and turn it down when you don't, right? And so that's a profit faucet. A good marketing campaign and good marketing in general allows you to dial it up or dial it down depending on how busy you are, and that's the sign of a good business, right? And even a duplicatable business, because what you're doing, it can be duplicated with other people. Robert, what are you going to do for this week for your LinkedIn profile?
Well, that's interesting. I think from the discussion, I need to look at, as we get together with our evolution of our marketing plan. I need to look at the various ways that I could use LinkedIn now that we're thinking of making up a business page or segregating it into different segments. And I think it's more into the analyzing target markets for the 3 different initiatives that I have and how we might be able to use it for 1, 2, or 3 of them.
Or all of them, yes. So I would say that this week, if you can get pictures up here, that'd be very, very useful. And so the way that you do it is you go in here again, you go to the corner, you go to create a company page like this. It says, what is your company name? What is the company profile? So you're going to call it Roland Consultants, right? And then yes, I'm the person, and then it's going to have you upload a bunch of stuff. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back over here to your main page. On the corner there, and I'll show you on mine on how it looks. So you go on the corner where the little pen is, and then what you're going to do is you're going to, just like this right here. So what the pen is, and then you go under the little pen right there, and then what you do is you type in Roland Consultants, and the picture will come up. And then
if I have a logo
you just make a logo up. It doesn't matter right now what it is. You can change it later on. Just get anything up there. Even a picture of you is better than nothing.
Gotcha.
It gives you credit. It gives you greater credibility. So when I look at that, I say, oh, wow, okay, this person spent a little bit of time doing this. This is nice, right? And then these 2 right there, there's nothing. I'm like, oh, why is that not filled out there? And these are, educations. And I mean, I guess, and so, and then when I look over here, oops. So if you could do that just for this week, I think that would be really wonderful. Diane, I want you to get a brand new back page for yours. Really, really important, okay? Make that a goal for yourself. I don't care what it is. You can change it. And it says franchise recruitment specialist, Bitcoin world brand mark. Okay, perfect. Excellent. And let's just see here. So, and if we could have, do you have any testimonials that you've gotten from your clients?
I can do that.
Yeah, so just
yes, I don't have them, but easy enough to do.
No, yeah, for sure. And if you don't have testimonials, I'd love to be able to go through the process that helped Jason collect testimonials. Jason, do you like how we collect testimonials for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Really works. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of testimonials, this week, Jason, I need for you to transcribe that testimonial so we can write it out. Or have Jane do it for you. Have Jane do it for you. Pay her $5.
Yeah, I was actually just finished reading through the materials on testimonials just before this call started.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So there we have. What we have is what we're going to be doing this week. And I think that that's a really reasonable goal for this week in regards to social media for each of us. For me, my goal last week was to put up my testimonials. And I have to admit, I wasn't able to do it. I've been just absolutely run off my feet, but that's okay. I can reset my goal for this week to put up more testimonials. So I'm hoping that next week you'll see more testimonials on my page. So that's what my goal is going to be. So let's talk a little bit about Facebook and Facebook groups and so on. I'm really enjoying Facebook. Who here has a good Facebook page?
I guess I think I do.
Okay, Robert? I think we're friends on Facebook, eh? We are, yeah, perfect.
Should be, yep.
And I think you have quite a number of, it doesn't say how many contacts you have, but that's because of the privacy settings. And actually, I like...
I got it set up pretty public, but...
you have it set up maybe public for here, but you don't have it set up for showing your friends, I don't think.
No, I don't. Yes, I don't want that.
No, and I didn't either. So you have it says how many followers you have, and it says how many people you're following and how many mutual friends we have. So this is all good news. So now when it comes to building Facebook, this is where I would recommend each of us create our own pages. So here's some of the pages that I created, and one of my most successful pages that I'm doing low cost no-cost marketing for right now is this rent and Vernon, is rent to own in Vernon. And I do low-cost, no-cost marketing. So I want you to set up, each of you to this week, as a goal, is to set up a page. Now, what you call the page is really, really important. If you call it your business name, chances are you're going to get zero business. But if you call it a generic name that people actually go and research and so on, and I'm going to show you some ideas of how you can get some free low-cost, no-cost marketing, then what you're going to do is I've just been organically growing these 37 followers. These are 37 followers. I have an 829 post reach. I don't pay for any marketing. I don't pay for any advertising. I just post maybe once or twice a week maximum. This message has gone out to 3,418 people. You're like, what? This one only went out to 18 people because I did not share it, and I do not boost. I share. Different. This went to 2,963 people. This one went to 3,648 people. This one to 5,331 people. Now you're noticing that there's a little bit of interaction. Well, what I'm doing is I'm basically scraping these particular likes and these followers.
Yeah.
The way that you find out who is liking your page is you go over here to people on your settings under that page profile, and you go to people and other pages. And so here are all the people that want to do rent to own. My next step this week is to send a message to each of these people to find out how serious they are with their rent to own desires, and to ask them to share this page so that one more person, so I want to double my numbers on that. So I'd like for you each to think of a name of your page and share it out loud with us right now. What can you name your page?
Well, I have pages already.
You have some already? Okay, what are they? Show them to me.
Well, if you go back to my Facebook page.
Okay, let's do that.
I have Fortune Unlimited. I have Skinner Garage. There's stories to all of them.
I don't see any pages here.
Well, why don't they come up? Because they should be.
It has to do with here's Fortune Unlimited. So let's take a look there. So that is your Bitcoin page.
Correct.
And is that your wife? That's awesome.
So, that's my wife.
So you have 1,732 people like this page. Oh.
Well, I paid for that. Okay. In the earlier days, I hired a contractor, and he said, first thing to do is you got to get 1,000 likes. And I was in a little bit of a different format, but I went out and we powered through that. Probably cost me $500 to generate that level of likes.
That's pretty
so
good.
That was that. Yep.
That's decent. But I noticed that you have 21 here. This is great. So let me show you some of the things that I've been doing. So when you have a page like this, there's a couple things. First is, do you want people in the industry to like your page? Or do you want new people to like your page? And so if you want people in the industry, this is where I go Bitcoin right here. So these are all my Bitcoin groups that I've joined. It says join. So I'm trying to find all my Bitcoin, my Bitcoin groups. That's Bitcoin Vancouver. I don't want Bitcoin Vancouver. So here it is. So these are all. So there's 88,000 members here. There's 106,000 members there. 49,000 members here. There's 206 members there. 135,000 members here. 225,000 members there. 75,000 members here. Now that's if you want to grow your base. Then the next thing that you would do is you would create your post, and then what you're going to do is you're going to share them in your different groups. That's the low cost way of doing the marketing. Otherwise, you're depending on the 1,700 people to like your page. One other thing that you can do to have people like your page is actually call them out. So it's like when I did the Bitcoin questions, do you remember those? I asked those questions about what do you think about this company? What do you think about this company? And one guy said it's a Ponzi scheme. Remember that?
Yep.
Those are people in the industry that travel around all the different Bitcoin franchise shows. So they're traveling all over the place, right? And so what you can do is you can call people out on that, and you can include them here for that process. But you don't make any money when people buy Bitcoin, right? You're just
Correct.
building a community, and what you're doing is you're starting your ICO process. Is that right? These are the
Correct.
people that you will one day say, hey, I'm starting an ICO, or here's a company that you can get invested in. Try this out. Now, what about for your franchise companies? Do you have that as well?
No. Well, I had one for Capit, which was my employer in the past, but I no longer am associated with that. So that still may be there. So I would want to set something up for LGI, and I'd want something up for Alair.
So right, why don't you just do the same one? So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at franchising. So interesting. It doesn't, nothing here on how to start a franchise. So I would call the page how to. So I would call it, let's just see here, franchising. How to buy a franchise.
How to start a franchise means if you want to franchise your business.
You don't want
I'm
that.
not interested.
How
No.
to buy a franchise.
Correct.
How to buy a franchise would be a really decent name. And if you can see right here, there's nothing in all of Facebook that says how to buy a franchise. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That is a wide open market for you. So it's a pretty interesting page name.
Yep.
And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to find out where all these groups hang out. So let's say housing contractors in Winnipeg. There's no groups, eh? Wow. Maybe just...
Probably building contractors.
There it is, Winnipeg construction. So building contractors may be better. So I'm just using a specific area, right? I want to just show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Winnipeg construction, Winnipeg demolition. You got all your bases covered right there.
Building construction, Winnipeg. So there's a whole bunch. There's Premier Builders of Winnipeg. There's so you can join those particular groups and so on. Let's just see if there's anything here. So there is one, shopping services. It's not that great. So let's do building construction in the UK. So this is where this is going to be a little bit more where we have to do a little bit more focused work to find.
Well, the target market is custom home builders.
Okay, let's do that one. Oops. There we go. So Beyond Design Custom Home. So there's 1,500 people in that group. That's perfect. Utah Home Builders. It's actually an untapped market on Facebook.
Well, it is, and this is an interesting opportunity because unfortunately I am extremely restricted to area. However, if we develop a program where I can prove out the methodology that we're using, I could probably get some interest in other areas. Because right now the fellow I'm working with controls, Vancouver, Lower Mainland, Hawaii, and a piece of California, and that's it. So all the rest of that are other Alair masters. So
we can master franchisee, of course. So the idea is to find out where the target so if it's not going to work out this way, then it's going to have to work on the premise of you got to use the word franchise. So maybe mastering your franchise, or how to buy a franchise, or buying successful franchises. That would be a good one. And then what we do is we do the marketing for that. And so I think we have an idea there at least. So Diane, what do you want yours to be?
Well, last week we set up a page at reading 25,000 words. Yeah, last week we did that.
Right here.
That you can be an administrator of. which I need to post stuff on.
Oh, we have to finish it up, right? So go back,
Yep.
add a cover, and then add a page
Yep.
over here. Read 25,000 words a minute, and we haven't
Yep.
invited one yet. But,
Nope.
So this is where what you're going to do is you're going to post not only your book stuff on LinkedIn and what you're doing on LinkedIn, but you're going to post it here as well so that they merge together. And that will help you with your search engine optimization as well.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was thinking. Like, we set this page up, I need to start doing stuff with it. So,
But it's not crazy stuff. You just do it as you can because it's a lead generator, right?
yep.
Yeah, cool.
And I should actually do it. Like, I should do something on Facebook similar to what we were talking about for the survey for LinkedIn. Like, I should do a likes campaign about something about reading books. Like, how many people have books that they haven't, I don't know, I'm not talking very clearly or coherently at the moment, but some kind of survey on Facebook to get the same kind of results.
Yes, I agree. A likes campaign is a pretty decent way of doing it. But the key again is to write a message and then share it in all those different kind of groups. That's how you see that one page getting this one here, rent to own and Vernon. That's how this one page is getting 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views. I've spent money on advertising, but I find that sharing works so much better. It's a little bit more time intensive, more relationship building, but it really works, in my opinion, so much better. And then when you combine the two, it works really nice as well. Jason, where are you at this week with creating a Facebook page?
I currently have one that's named after my company.
Okay, Radiant Freedom. So I want
Yes.
you to, I'd like for you to create a more generic one. Like here, this client takeover. This client takeover one is one that I actually has 20,000 members, and it's actually pretty neat. So I'm constantly watching, early this Christmas, and they ask questions of each other, and they help each other out. So do you guys use submit URL to Google or so on and so on? And they ask questions, they answer questions. So it becomes a real resource, local search question. I have an attorney client, a legal named Jonathan Law PC. They want us to the law firm. So it's basically a bunch of questions and people helping each other. So in your particular, for you, I know that how many people are already on Radiant Freedom?
What was that?
How many people are on Radiant Freedom already?
I think I have somewhere over 200 likes.
Yeah, 273 likes. So your job is to send that message that you sent to all the people on Alignable, to send it to all 273 people here now.
Right.
And the one on LinkedIn. Do you know how to do that? Do you remember how I showed you?
You mean send that message to people on Facebook?
Yes. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I do know how to DM people on Facebook. Although one thing I think I'd need to do is run a test to see if the DM system on my page is actually working. Because I actually just realized I've not received any DMs to that page.
What's a DM?
Direct message.
Yeah. Okay.
In over a year.
Or PM.
Since I last.
Yeah.
Since I last received anything on there, so I want to test to make sure that it's actually working and isn't bugged out.
And so the reason why we're kind of moving away from brand recognition and going to something more generic is that people search up here. So they're going to search for SEO, like I search for SEO, and you can see that these are all the SEO. Like I'm part of SEO Signals Lab. I'm part of Money Route SEO Tutorials. I'm part of Rank Daddy SEO Academy. I'm part of SEO Jungle, Build Your Own SEO Agency Support Group. I'm part of WordPress SEO and Internet Questions. I'm part of White Hat SEO. I'm part of all of these SEO companies, right? So when people are searching, what they might search is they might search Vancouver SEO. Not just kind of like this. And is there anything that comes up? Vancouver SEO Digital Marketing Search Engine Optimization, 4 members. Not that great, right? 3 members, 4 members. And so what if they were to do Canadian? Because you know, like Canadian SEO. Canadian SEO, one member. Somebody actually did that already, but they don't know what to do after that. They don't know how to build their list. You can buy your list or you can build your list. Those are the two things. So I'm looking for a real way for you to capture market share, so you can go into groups like this one. Because each of us here I would like each of you to sign under Vancouver and join Vancouver Buy and Sell Fast. Join Buy and Sell Vancouver. Join Marketplace Vancouver. Join all the stuff that has to do with Vancouver business. So let's take a look at Vancouver. Craigslist Vancouver. Let's go Vancouver business. So here's 17 members. This one here is Vancouver Helpline, jobs, small business networking, newcomers, yoga. There's 644 potential clients right there. Let's talk business in Canada. I'm going to just join that right there. Perfect. And then business in Langley, 872 members. Entrepreneurial and business support, Surrey, BC. That's pretty good. So I'm a member of that one. So let's see how many members there are. 112 members. Hey, all I need is one to make it worth my while. Remember, this is lead generation, right? So really think of a way that you can start adding value to these particular individuals and come up with a new page. But you're pretty busy right now, actually. So I think that these are all things that you can do after Christmas. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Plus, right now, Facebook isn't my primary focus. I'm more focused on LinkedIn. Because that's where my target market is most heavily located.
It's true. It is. They're a mixture of both, right? You'll find that the serious guys like myself and Bob and Diane and yourself, we have all of these social medias. The one that I've been making the most money from, Alignable. Absolutely. I haven't used Alignable in a few weeks, but it's still doing its own thing. 362 clients I have right now. 362. And what's really beautiful about Alignable is, and I really recommend that this week each of you focus on building out your Alignable profile even further. So I'm considered a highly recommended. 5 local business owners have recommended me. So if you haven't yet recommended me on Alignable, please do so. I'd really appreciate that. And then just build it out, to the best that you can. You can always change it later on, and build out what your business tags are, and build out your profile. I don't even have a phone number here. I don't have a phone number here on purpose, as a matter of fact. I'm avoiding hacking. I'm actually getting a voice over IP phone for the company, so that my cell phone or our cell phone can be forwarded from that number instead. And they're pretty affordable, actually. You can get voice over IP telephone numbers for a pretty affordable price. And then the other thing about Alignable that I really enjoy, and see, this is where you, Robert, this is where Alignable is an interesting business model, because it is all based upon your local network, specifically nearby companies.
Yes.
So it would be really beneficial for you to connect with all of the local what's it called? Construction companies. So you can type in construction. See what comes up. So these are all 40 nearby construction companies right here.
Yeah. Pretty good.
And then what's really interesting is what you can do is you can click on one of these. The SEAL team is already, these are already my members. Let's just take a look. There's 40.
Well, the small difficulty there is Alaire already has, there you are, no. Anyways, you'll find it probably, Alaire already has a franchisee operating in this territory.
Oh, so you can only, so I'll have to learn more about your territories and so on. And then what we can do is we can focus in on certain territories.
There are.
Perfect.
That's right.
If there's no franchisee in a certain territory, that's where we will focus in on that.
or larger territories could have multiples. But Delta and South or North Delta would be fine. Surrey is fine. But South Delta and Ladner is not.
Okay, so for instance, these are all on 24th Avenue, 19th Avenue. These are all close to where I live, right? So 55 Avenue. What's really interesting is when you take a look at Maxim Building Supply Solutions, let's say, they have 73 connections. So what you can do is you can take a look at all their connections. Sure, I'll connect. Okay, fine, whatever. They want me to add more people. You can take a, okay. Apparently you have to connect with them before you can see all of their connections. But that,
well, most of these contractors I already have in a database of the Home Builders Association. So
okay, cool.
It's on LinkedIn or Facebook. It isn't quite as prevalent as it might be in the LGI format. The LGI format would be something to consider. That would be a better opportunity for that.
Okay, perfect.
And that's back to salesmen in the market.
And you're here too, right, Robert?
And Alignable, yeah.
Yeah, but you're all, it's called Roland.
Oh, yes.
And actually, that's how I connected with you, is through this program, by the way.
I know. And you've got a sale through that, because that's how it all started right there.
It is, yeah. And just working it and building that relationship. So it says there is no...
I don't exist.
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Just do Roland.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense. There we go. Here you are. So you can see, actually, I connected, August the 8th is when I connected with you.
Mm-hmm.
I invited you out August 23rd.
You bought me a free lunch.
I invited you out September.
The free lunch was that's the reason I came. The company said there's no such thing as a free lunch. And guess what? You're correct.
Well, I suppose.
I suppose. It's the point of view. The lunch was wonderful. And I'm happy to be here. So I'm just giving you a hard time.
Wait until what you get in the new year and the price that you're paying. Holy macaroni.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. That's fine. I'll buy you a couple of free lunches.
Precisely. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So I did 4 follow-ups before you ended up coming to one of our events. And that's just a perfect example of showing what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did is I literally went through all 400 people and I sent a message, hey, I have an event coming up. Please attend the event. And so you can see I went all the way down here and I did exactly just that. So to all the people that I thought would be people that I would love to work with. That's how I do what I do. So that's how I target market. So what are you guys going to do for Alignable this week?
Interesting.
Good question, eh?
Yeah. Alignable marketing.
Diane, you go first. What are you going to do this week?
I need to update my Alignable profile and get some messages going in Alignable because I haven't really done that yet. I'm in Alignable, but I need to optimize my profile in Alignable to make it work for me the way.
The feedback is horrible from your speaker, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
No big deal. All of a sudden, yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect. Just 10
I
minutes.
think that might be an internet issue. Because I've been getting that kind of off and on this entire call.
Okay.
From like various people.
Okay. So yeah, Diane, I really do recommend that because when you take a look at how many you have on LinkedIn, how many connections you have on Facebook, and then how many connections you have on Alignable, there's probably over 1,000 connections here. And if you take a look at what your numbers are, in order for you to reach your goals, you need 35 people attending your monthly event, right?
Yeah.
So if you take a look at those numbers, I'm just going to clear this tape. What you have is, so you have 1,000 people divided by 35. Oh, look at that. You have more than enough people just right in your current network without building anything more.
Right.
Online and offline. By the way, to reach your financial goal, may I add. Pretty fun, pretty cool. So cool. So you can update that. Robert, what are you going to do this week for your Alignable profile?
Well, I think similar to Diane, I need to look at my profile and try to analyze the best way I can use Alignable to reach define a target market or markets that, because existing businesses in my area, everybody's everybody's a potential for Bitcoin, but if you want to work on the franchise side, I need to try to figure out how I could reach people in the demographic that are on Alignable that are suitable candidates.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Okay.
I'd like for you to start an Alignable account for each of the franchises. And then I'd like for you to find an address in the area that we're going to be marketing. Because remember, Alignable is about local marketing.
So if I'm saying I want to do Surrey, because I can probably put 3 franchises in Surrey, so I would focus on Surrey.
Correct. You would put your address in Surrey because that's where all my network is right now. It's all in Surrey. And my network, the network is able to grow as long as you are an active part of your community. So I haven't been that active with asking questions, as a matter of fact. I do my best. But this is lead generation. I also have to do conversions, and then I also have to maintain all my current clients, right? So
yeah.
There's a little bit of juggling that's happening, and I have to really be good at time management. And so I really only use this for one purpose, which is funneling people to my events. And so for you, and each of you need to think of this particular way. For instance, Jason doesn't have an area territory, neither does Diane. So they can go and like every single one of these categories, every one of these businesses, and chances are they're going to get more likelihood to be successful.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm kind of like you, Robert. I have to be pretty picky on who I work with. I don't want to work with a real estate agent unless it's the top 20% real estate agents. I don't want to work with a mortgage broker unless it's the top 20% mortgage brokers. There's certain companies that I do like, and there's certain companies I do not want to work with. I don't want to work with a hairdresser, for instance. I don't enjoy it. I don't really like working with restaurants either. I like working with service providers. I like working with business service providers, like with what you're doing, what Diane's doing, with what Jason's doing. That's my niche. And so you guys can do very similar, or at least Robert, when it comes to that area, you can open up you can open up an LGI in Hawaii, for instance, or you can, an Alair in Hawaii, open up a Hawaii address. So just pick an address somewhere in Hawaii, for instance, would be pretty darn good. Ideally, an address that would allow you to you go back to the Alair franchisor and ask him if they have an address there in Hawaii, and you use
He does. He has a condo. Yep, not a problem.
Perfect. So then you use that address and let them know exactly what it is that you're doing, because then at this point we can start really building, because you can really build out. I'm really surprised with Alignable, as a matter of fact. Now you're just about using it strategically. So does that sound reasonable if you can start 2 more Alignable accounts?
I can do that in a flash.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. 2 more.
One strategy I found has helped me with Alignable is actually looking for relevant questions. So like in your case, looking for people asking about questions about buying franchises or becoming a franchisee, and going in and answering their questions.
Good point, Jason.
Because the sale that I got via Alignable, that's how it came.
Yeah, so what you do is you go here to your community. Is that how? Let me just see here. Go to. Okay. Oh, there's ask the questions right up there. But you go to the forum, and then what you do is you ask your question. And so the question you're going to ask, and you have to be careful of asking leading questions, because this here is what, if I look at all my messages, you're going to see this right here, check this out. They do this to me all the time because they know I'm in sales and marketing. I saw your question. On average, how much do you spend on Facebook marketing each month, and do you outsource this work to a contractor? Is this a genuine question, or are you trying to promote your business? Let me know so I point you in the right direction. Thanks, Odin. I was like, it's a genuine question. I'm not desiring to promote. I just really want to know what people are actually spending on their Facebook.
Yeah,
right?
but we know what you're up to, okay? And they do too.
No, I don't do Facebook marketing. It's not for me. I'm actually seriously interested. I want to know. You know.
Interesting.
Yeah. If they spend, or if they don't spend, or if they're doing it themselves, or if they're outsourcing, that's what I really want to know. And then so they actually monitor all the questions. So it's great to hear. We make every effort to make sure that the forums are free of solicitation. We don't allow leading questions. So one that is asking you to get potential clients in a comment, I want to just make sure your question is now live. So they actually monitor everything. And then they said,
so if you went in and asked a question like, have you ever thought about buying a franchise? Would they allow a question like that?
It's a leading question, right? It's a leading question. So they really want to make you think. So one of the questions that I asked recently because of Jason, and actually I did this because of a client, which was really, really good. So these are my questions right here. And says, on average, how much you spend on Facebook? So there, I got one reply back already, which is, wow, 750 people saw it. Huh, interesting. So 550 people saw this one, lead generation. So what is the best way to grow my marketing page in Surrey? That I didn't even realize that I asked that question. What is the best e-commerce site? And this one got 16 answers. And so I had a client that asked me about an e-commerce site. What was the best options to use? And from this, and including Jason's answer, Jason's going to get a sale out of this when this particular client is ready to move forward. So because Jason is the one that gave the suggestion to use this and gave them the clearest answer, and he's local as well. So he gave a lot of feedback. And so the questions are really, really kind of great. A question that you could ask, for instance, Robert, is when it comes to understanding franchises, what's your biggest question? I'm interested to find out, right? So I agree with Jason that the questions are the best, are some of the best ways to go. Holy man, guys, I can't believe what time it is.
I also am talking about answering other people's questions as well.
Well, that's what I got to go look at. I think it's quite interesting because I'm sure if I've never gone in there and scanned the questions, it'd be a lot of fun to try to answer people's questions because there's got to be some things in there that I know.
Exactly. That alone.
Plus,
yes.
Yeah. Plus, that's also where you can get your best chance at connecting with people out of town.
Correct.
That are also in a potential service area.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right on. So, do you like Robert or Bob? Which is your preferred name?
Robert's good.
Okay. So, Robert, was this today useful for you?
Very. Thank you.
Perfect. And Diane, was this useful for you?
As always, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And Jason, are you good with this as well?
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. So we had a great session today. I'm going to stop the recording. I think everyone's going to get a lot of benefit out of today's session. Thanks very much for everyone coming.